Hey, my name is Lindsay Decker, and I have created a lesson plan on following and understanding classroom rules, as well as showing respect in the classroom and the importance of doing so. I've created this lesson plan with one student in mind. However, I feel it's going to be beneficial for all students. It's so important that our classrooms are structured and well managed by our teachers so that our students have that environment which is conducive for learning. So I feel that it's really important that we stress the importance of classroom rules and showing respect to those around us. And in order to do that, we have to make sure that our students have those clear expectations and the rules and that they do understand them. For this lesson, my learning goal is that students are going to gain a better understanding of the classroom rules, as well as their importance in creating a safe, structured, and successful learning environment. And that's not only for them, but it's for those around them. So we want to really stress that as well. Measurable lesson objectives are that after the lesson, students are going to gain a better understanding of the classroom rules, and they're going to be able to explain 3 reasons that we do have those classroom rules. Upon completion of this lesson, students are going to be able to list a minimum of 5 classroom rules that we do have. And after the lesson, students are also going to be able to list a minimum of 4 ways that we can show respect to others within our classroom. There will be various planned supports that are going to be used in the lesson. The first one being direct instruction, which is going to be used in the beginning when I introduce the lesson's topic and the importance of it. I'm also going to incorporate technology and visualization throughout the lesson, which is going to include a short 4-minute YouTube video that covers various ways to follow classroom rules. By showing the video, it's going to get their attention, and it's also a very catchy video. It's got pop music in it, and so I feel it's going to gain the attention of our students, even if they're not interested in what the video is showing. Let's see. Related IEP goals or IEP objectives, students are going to follow classroom rules and meet behavioral expectations across all school settings. The second one is students will be respectful of others and not interrupt or blurt out no more than 3 times during that classroom setting. The third one is students will demonstrate raising their hand to participate in a classroom instruction 80% of the time. And the last objective is that students will independently complete a given assignment or task and ask for help if needed with 80% accuracy. Some accommodations and modifications are that the student will be seated in the very front of the classroom and as close to the teacher as possible. This is for students with ADHD or others who may struggle with distractions. So by sitting close to the front, it's going to help maintain their focus and detour those distractions. Students who require modifications regarding their worksheets will have their word banks decreased, as well as the number of questions they must answer. We can also incorporate highlighting and other accommodations as well. Students who need it will be allowed extra time on their assignments and can be provided with one-on-one assistance if needed, including the teacher reading questions at the back station while the other children complete their assessments. And the teacher is also going to use verbal cues to remind the student to be respectful of others when he or she blurts out or interrupts the others. The receptive communication skill is going to be addressed and focused on throughout this lesson. The student's going to be gaining an understanding of comprehension of the classroom rules and their importance in creating a safe, structured, and successful learning environment. This lesson is testing their ability to listen and follow directions. They're going to be learning the directions needed in order to pay attention in class, and following the lesson, we will test their receptive communication skills to see if they put into action and practice what they have learned during that lesson. Some resources that are going to be used for the teacher. Of course, we're going to need that access to a computer so that we can watch the YouTube video. We're going to need the whiteboard and marker to do that T-chart. The worksheets for our students and some pre-made pledge flyers. Student materials is going to consist of pencils, worksheets, which is going to be handed out by the teacher, and there's going to be modified ones should any student require those. The word, like we talked about earlier, the word bank can be decreased as well, so those would need to be ready and handy. The students are going to need notebook paper, and the technology, of course, is going to be that YouTube video. The introduction to the lesson is going to begin by first the teacher introducing the topic of the lesson, which is following the identifying classroom rules, their importance, as well as the ways we can show respect in our classroom. I will inform the students of the definition of respect and its importance. My focus in the introduction will be to get the students to interact and participate aloud so that I can gain their attention, sort of like an icebreaker. I'll ask them if they would like to name some classroom rules and ways that we can show respect in the classroom so that I can get their feedback and see what they're thinking respect means and what some rules are that we have in our classroom. I'm going to call in a couple of volunteers to give us some ideas. And after we've established those rules, I'm going to inform the students that we're going to think next about examples of not following classroom rules and not showing respect in the classroom. And again, ask for a couple of volunteers to show us that inappropriate behavior. Throughout the lesson, the teacher's going to introduce the YouTube video, which will help the students gain a better understanding of various classroom rules, their importance, and the ways to show respect within the classroom. Like we said, it's got some pop music, so hopefully it's going to grab their attention, and it's also going to provide those visuals for our visual learners. Next, the teacher is going to inform the students that there is time going to be set aside to work as a group to create a T-chart. In that T-chart, it's going to be based on appropriate behavior in the classroom as well as inappropriate behavior. During that time, the teacher is going to create the chart on the whiteboard, and the students will volunteer to give their answer, and the teacher will write it on the board in the T-chart if it is correct. The closing, summarizing strategies is where the teacher will make a closing statement. Again, I'm going to reiterate the importance of rules and ways that help create a positive and safe learning environment while asking if there are any questions or concerns about the day's lesson. If the students are going to be asked to write a couple sentences on the importance of following rules and ways to show respect in the classroom, they're also going to be asked to include a sentence stating a rule that they need to work on. The assessment and evaluation portion is going to consist of assessing the learner's comprehension and mastery of the lesson. By doing so, we can use assessment worksheets, which will be completed by each student independently. There will be a fill-in-the-blank worksheet with a word bank at the bottom. The worksheet will consist of questions that ask the reader to choose the best answer that completes the sentence as to why we have classroom rules, how we show respect, and the questions are going to be specific examples. There will be another worksheet that consists of sentences at the end, and there are 2 choices that will complete the sentences. The choices have words, and again, we've got pictures for the visual learners that they will be able to choose from. During the assessment time, I'll be walking around the room providing any help that the students may require. I'll be glancing at the worksheets, and I'll have some spare time at the end of the class to continue reviewing worksheets to ensure everyone mastered the lesson. Now, should we have a student struggling with comprehension, I will have the remainder of the class set aside to work with a student on clarifying anything that that student does need so that I can make sure that they have fully mastered the lesson. After the assessments are completed and I've ensured that everyone has mastered the lesson, I'll pass out a pre-made flyer with the classroom rules and ways to show respect, which are listed in the video and covered during the lesson. There'll be areas and spots for all the students to sign their name to the flyer as a way for them to pledge to follow the rules, and it will be posted by the entrance of the classroom. This will serve as a daily reminder when they walk in that we've went over these rules, and it's sort of a way for them to pledge that they're going to follow them. So I think that will really help them. And that's the end of my lesson. Thank you.